This is the sample of a question relating to implied agency between husband and wife. Let us read the question. Nana is the wife of Nizam, a Navy officer working in remote Perak. Nizam was selected to serve under the United Nations Peace Force operating in Iraq for 6 months. While her husband was away on duty in Iraq, Nana was left with sufficient money for her expenditure throughout the 6 months. However, she spent all the money within 2 months to buy expensive jewelries and cosmetics. She also bought household goods such as rice, eggs, sugar and flour on her husband's credit from Pak Kadir's shop. When Nizam returned home, Pak Kadir claimed payment of 500 ringgit for Nana's debt. However, Nizam refused to pay, advised Pak Kadir. Alright, so from this question, I have already highlighted the important clues in this question. From the first sentence, it shows that Nana is the wife of Nizam. So, under the law of agency, when the question mentioned about a wife making contract in the name of her husband, this is the main clue that this is an agency by implied appointment between husband and wife. Okay, before we go further to the question, let us recall a little bit about this topic. There is an implied agency between husband and wife, meaning impliedly the wife is the agent to the husband and the husband is impliedly the principal to the wife. When the wife make contract in the name of the husband, so the effect is that the husband will be bound to the contract, provided the contract are only for necessaries, which is suitable to their condition and lifestyle. However, there are 5 circumstances where the husband can rebut the liabilities upon the contract. So the first one is that the husband expressly forbid his wife from pledging his credit, from using his name or making contracts. Secondly, the husband expressly remind the seller or the third party not to sell the goods to his wife on credit. Third, the wife was sufficiently provided with the goods of the kind in question. Fourth, the wife was sufficiently provided with allowance to buy goods for cash. So, this point is relevant to the question. Remember, when the husband, Nizam, has sufficiently provided the wife with allowance for the whole 6 months, meaning the wife should not make any contract for buying goods on credit. She must buy the goods for cash. And last exception is that when the contract was unreasonable, not suitable to the husband's income, to their condition and lifestyle. Okay, now we go back to the question. So it is clearly here that there is implied agency between husband and wife, that is between Nizam and Nana. Now, the problem arises in this question is that Nizam refused to pay Pak Kadir for the goods which has been bought by Nana, even though the goods were for necessaries, but actually Nizam already had left sufficient money to Nana for her expenditure throughout the 6 months. So in this case, Nana should not bought the goods on credit. On the other hand, Nana had spent all the money for buying expensive jewelries and cosmetics. So that's why Nizam refused to pay. So, as you know that, firstly you have to find out the issues. First, whether there is formation of agency by implied appointment between Nizam, the husband, and Nana, his wife. Because we want to see what type of formation of agency here. So we already find out that this is agency by implied appointment between husband and wife. Secondly, the issue is whether Nana is a valid agent or not. Because the requirement or the condition is that the wife can only make contract in the name of the husband only for necessaries. And what happened in the case? Nana bought the goods on credit with Pak Kadir to buy necessaries. So the next question is whether Nizam is bound or not to the contract with Pak Kadir by way of implied agency between husband and wife. So for the law authorities, of course, for the introduction, you have to define the agency, principal, agent. You have to give the definition under section 135. And then you list down the 5 types of agency. List sahaja. Ada 5 jenis agensi kan. After that, you have to explain briefly all the 3 situations of agency by implied appointment. Remember, there are 3 situations: implied from the circumstances, implied from the relationship of husband and wife, Okay, this is relevant to the question. And implied from the relationship of partnership. So for all these three situations, you have to explain all briefly. No need to explain the sections or cases, if any. Only then, after that, you explain in detail about the agency by implied appointment between husband and wife. So you have to give what is the meaning of implied agency between husband and wife, siapa implied agent, who is the implied principal, and what are the effects when the wife make contract in the name of the husband liable ke tidak, right? So you have to explain all that, and then you have to explain in detail the 5 exceptions where the husband can rebut or deny the liabilities under the contract made by the wife. So these are the law and authorities which must be included in your law and authorities. Now we come to the application. So the technique is you have to answer the issues which has been given above, and then you have to decide, give your solutions to the problem in the question, and make your decisions by referring to or applying the relevant principle of law, sections and cases, if any. So if you look at the issues just now, first issue is that we have to decide whether there is formation of agency by implied appointment. So this is my suggested application. Generally, there is formation of agency by implied appointment between Nana and Nizam because they are husband and wife. Nana is the implied agent to Nizam. Nana can make contract in the name of Nizam, and therefore Nizam is bound to the contract made by Nana. As for the second issue, we want to see whether Nana is a valid agent or not. The answer is that, however, for the contract of buying household goods with Pak Kadi, Nana was not a valid agent under the implied agency between husband and wife. This is because she had been given sufficient money by Nizam to buy necessaries or to buy the expenditures throughout the 6 months. This means Nana cannot buy the goods on credit. She must buy the goods for cash. Instead, Nana had spent the money to buy expensive jewelries and cosmetics. The third issue is whether Nizam is bound or not to the contract. The answer is, therefore, Nizam is not bound to the contract with Pak Kade under the implied agency between husband and wife. Nizam can rebut and deny the liabilities upon the contract. Nizam can refuse to pay Pak Kade for the goods because he had given Nana sufficient money to buy necessaries for cash, not on credit using his name. Thus, Nana is personally liable to pay the debt to Pak Kade, not Nizam. So this is the suggested application answering the issues just now. And finally, for the conclusion, make a summary about the law relating to this implied agency between husband and wife. 3 to 4 sentences would be sufficient. Just make a brief summary about the principle of law relating to implied agency between husband and wife. So this is the suggestion of the conclusion. Bear in mind, in this conclusion, only give the summary of the law. No more discussion about the question, about the problem in the question.